So I have a really special guest today for you. I invited the bassist of Elm Street, Nick Ivka. Hello, Nick. First of
Hi,
all, thanks a lot for taking the time to do this interview today.
thank
And
you.
how was your day going so far?
Yeah, good. It's obviously time difference between Australia and Germany, so it's been a long day. It's almost midnight here, but no, it's been good. It's always a thrill to talk to people back in my home away from home in Germany. So nice to talk to you.
Yeah, nice. The pleasure's on my side, of course. And Elm Street, I saw the first time when you guys are supporting Der W in March in
Mhm.
Munich or in the German tour. And from the first note when you started to play, I was thinking to myself, "Holy shit, this is good stuff." So, how did the supporting act with Der W came together on M Street? How was this cooperation come together?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm glad that the holy shit was a positive holy shit and not a negative holy shit because some bands they hit the first note and you think, oh shit, holy shit. But no, that's thank you for the kind words. That's really cool. And yeah, the show in Munich was amazing. That was, I think, the biggest show of the tour. So we were really like energized seeing such a big crowd and such a cool venue, and obviously supporting Derby as well. Like the vibe was really cool. But to answer your question, how does a band from Australia support Derby? Um, it does. The story does go back. I've been an Onkels fan for more than 20 years, which sounds
Oh,
strange. What's this Aussie doing listening to Onkels music? How does he discover that? But the internet does some wonderful things. So, but yeah, I've been a really big fan, still am to this day. And the band that I was in before Elm Street, so I've been in Elm Street for 10 years, but the band that I was in before Elm Street, the Scarlets, I wrote all the music for that band. And the Onkels were a heavy influence on the music that I would write. So we were female fronted, Onkels influence sound kind of a thing. It's a cool mix.
nice. Okay.
We managed to play some shows with Bon Jovi in arenas and stadiums in Melbourne. So I thought, yes, this is so cool that a band that sounds like us gets to do this. So I thought I'd reach out to Stefan because I thought it'd be really cool if this guy knows that a band from Australia is taking inspiration from what he writes, and they're doing these big shows with one of the world's biggest bands, Bon Jovi. Just to let him know, this can happen. So I saw he used to have a message board on the Derby website, and he would talk to the fans, in the message forum. So I
Mhm.
thought I'll send him a private message and he can read it and say, "Hey, cool," and then continue with his life, and you know nothing happens. Or he could respond and say, "Thanks, man, cool," or whatever. But he actually did respond immediately. He said, "Hey, that's amazing. If you're ever in Germany, let me know. You can come hang out at the studio, or whatever works." I thought, this is fucking amazing. Like my because he's a hero for me. So I thought, my hero
Yes,
is
yes.
responding. So we stayed in touch, and we actually were doing a tour of our, like the Scarlets were doing a tour of our own in Germany in 2011, and Derby were doing their Autonomy 2 tour as well. So I just said to him, "Hey, can we get some tickets to the Berlin show? Because we're going to be in Berlin." And he said, "Do you want to play?" I said, "What?" Okay, sure, we'll do that. Eschenbach were also playing
Oh,
too. So
nice.
we're on first, they were on second, then Derby. This is it, for two shows in Berlin. So we did those shows, and yeah, Stefan was so encouraging and supportive, and just really helpful to us. And the crew were amazing at those two shows as well. we felt like part of the family and very welcome. And the fans were amazing as well. It was all just such a positive experience, and it really, like, it hasn't left me. You know, I still carry that experience with me. And so we just again stayed in touch. The Scarlets broke up. I messaged Stefan because he wanted to do some work with us, like recording a new album and some writing, and because he really was super supportive. But I said, hey, the band's broken up. You know, don't worry, we're not going to write any songs with you anymore. Sorry. And he said, just keep doing what you're doing. I believe in you. You know, just stay in touch. You will land on your feet and move forward. And sure enough, you know, the Elm Street thing was getting bigger and better, you know, after I joined. And yeah, we stayed in touch, and this opportunity came up. You know, they were looking for a new support band because they've played with, you know, some familiar bands that they've played with over the years, and they wanted something new and fresh. And you know, I'm part of the La Familia, so why not? Let's try it. And so we did, and you know, you saw what that resulted in. So
It
yeah,
was a quite awesome result, definitely. So I
yeah.
never know about Elm Street before,
Mm.
only that they announced you as support, and I'm always curious what kinds of band they bring, and I
Mm.
discovered a lot. So still I know Eschenbach. I think it's a little bit pity that Eschenbach didn't exist in the old formation
Yeah.
already. And I bought the first two albums. I think it was all what they brought out. So,
Yeah.
and I know that Philip Eschenbach is also supportive when he supports Stefan as a photographer on tour
Yeah.
as well. So I was so standing close beside Philip Eschenbach, but I was too shy to say hello to him.
He's
When
a very cool dude. He's very nice.
Sure he is, but I was not. I didn't have the guts to say hello to him. It was not on this tour. It was on the tour, on the acoustic tour, when they played
Yeah.
acoustic set. I think it was last year or 24. I think it was in 24.
24. Yeah. So I
Yeah, in
went to the
24.
Berlin show.
Yeah, and I was in the
Yeah.
Munich show in Circus
Yeah.
Krone, and yeah,
Oh, cool
first.
venue. That
Yeah,
looked so cool.
it
Yeah.
was really good, and also the acoustic was very quite nice. It
Mm.
was really an awesome concert.
Yeah.
And when after the show, Stefan and Dirk did some kind of meet and greet, I would call it, after the show, as they what they did not this time. And
Mm.
when I standing outside and waiting to get finally a picture with Stefan, which happened not then, unfortunately,
Mhm.
um, Philip came along.
Mm.
And another guy which I met there, a friend of mine, it's the owner of the Pressure magazine from Germany,
Mm.
and we were together. And he said, "Look, there's Philip Eschenbach." And I said, "Ah, I knew it that I know this guy." But
Mm.
then it didn't came to a small talk or something like this because
Yeah. Yeah.
I was not able to speak to him because I didn't know how to say hello to him. I could have said just hello, you are Philip Eschmach, I know you, but I don't want to do it like this way. Yeah.
Oh, he's a horrible person. You don't need to talk to him. It's okay.
And my decision was not so bad, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. No, he's a cool dude. Yeah, obviously I met him when we did the tour in 2011, but yeah, I'd seen him. I bumped into him in a club many years later in Berlin, and yeah, it was like as if we saw each other yesterday. You know, very
Nice.
friendly guy, very cool.
That's really cool, yeah.
Yeah.
M Street has been getting a lot of attention in Germany lately due to this supporting tour act, what you have in Der W. And
Mm.
this brought you to another level up, I would call it. And now you announced, you and Böse Onkels and Der W announced that you will support in Nuremberg in Germany, the Böse Onkels Mitten unter euch tour. And with a 360 angle stage, I would call it. And
Yeah.
what I read, or what came up first in my mind when I read that they do a thing like this,
Mm.
um, what can be bigger? they brought so many things out which are big. I
Yeah.
remember the tour where you were on Hockenheim.
Yes.
Those tours
Yes.
were so in so close time sold out for a few concerts. I think
Yeah.
it was minimum 3 quarters, and the concerts were completely sold out. They
Hmm.
could have been selling so much more tickets if it would be allowed. And yeah, what else will we expect? And recently, I saw from Kevin a message. He was a little bit speaking what he
Mm.
saw in graphics and so on.
Yep.
And this can be only good. There's no chance that this will not be good, and even the set list will be a banger.
Uh,
I'm sure.
I mean, obviously, we're honored and excited to be playing on the show in Nuremberg, and we can talk about that soon. But for me, as a fan, like I'm excited that the Uncles are doing this. So they always do something different every year. Their set lists, they do mix it up too, but the show itself is always a different experience, which I
Always
really
unique. Yeah, correct.
respect.
Yeah,
And they're in a fortunate position where they can afford to do whatever the fuck they want, right? So that's
yeah,
very Uncles. So when they announced the tour, I think they announced it last year, and they said, we're playing 360 in the round in football stadiums. I thought, oh my God, I have to see this, but I don't have enough money to go because it's very expensive to fly from Australia
sure,
to
sure.
Germany. So I was just, excited that they were doing this. I was excited to see the footage on YouTube, and hopefully they do a DVD or Blu-ray on this, because this is an incredible thing.
Mhm.
But now that we have been asked to play this show, I get to see the show, so that's pretty cool. I'm so excited as a fan.
Yeah, I would be also very excited. I'm still as a fan excited that in 1 month we will drive to Berlin.
Yeah.
No, not to Berlin, to Vienna, I mean.
Hmm.
And yeah, my wife and I are very excited of it. We were last year also on the last show in Vienna.
Hmm.
And this time we have a special support act Unantastbar, which is also a favorite band of mine.
Yep.
Can see them now also for the first time.
Ah,
That's
cool.
that's quite cool. And
Yep.
when I read the message that you are also supporting now in Nuremberg, I thought to myself, "Holy shit! Why they can't be in Vienna as well?" Yeah,
Yeah.
because how does it feel for you to see Elm Street growing so much in Germany right now? I mean, you get always positive feedback. From my
Mm.
perspective, I read, and what you confirmed as well, because you deserve it. You make a hell of a show. You have really good own stuff, not covering so much.
Mm.
Even if you did the covers, which were vintage, which was really cool. And yeah, also Stefan was talking in his short reels what he did always after or before a show, that you guys are rocking. If
Yeah.
I would not being attending his show, I would not know that Elm Street still exists. I
It's
didn't know you before, so
it's incredible. In a way, it surprises me, but then in another way, it doesn't surprise me, because the music that influenced me, well, Bursa Uncles are a huge influence. Like there's Metallica and Bursa Uncles,
yeah,
really. Like they're the two main sort of things. So I knew that stylistically, like on paper, like if you wrote down Elm Street and De or Bursa Uncles, it seems like a strange mix. Like there's this heavy metal band, and then there's the hard rocking, the power of Stefan and the
yeah,
Uncles.
yeah,
But it works. It just it's a good fit. It's different styles, but I think the energy and the connection is the same. And we thought, what would be cool? We're playing a concert, the Derby tours shows, sorry, and he is Uncle Stefan, really. So let's celebrate his music. He's the music that he's written with Derby is a special part of his history, and
yeah.
it's an excellent collection of songs.
Mhm.
So we everyone that will be there at the venue will be there to celebrate Stefan and this incredible music. But we thought, let's do something extra special for the fans. Like, let's play, a deep cut that even the Onkels don't play, and we don't need to sing. Like, it's instrumental, so we're not going to fuck up any German words. So we thought, yeah, we'll do the instrumental from Onkels Vivia. Like,
It
I
was
love
Kylo.
it.
Yeah, it was really
Yes.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was fun for us, and it was also fun for the rest of the band to learn as well. And like, we feel a special kind of ownership of that song now. So we play it, like, we've done some shows in Australia playing that in Australia too, and we're actually playing a show tomorrow night where,
Mhm.
spoiler alert, we're playing that song because we feel it's now a special part of us. So, it's respect. But talking about the Onkel show itself, yeah, this will easily be the biggest show that we've done. It's the biggest show that I think any band would have done, really. So very special. I think we're very lucky to be offered this too, because opportunities like this don't just happen. We feel like we have earned this one because we really worked hard for, in preparation for the Derby tour. I think we were pretty happy with our performances, and the response from the crowd was really good. And I think just expect more of the same but bigger in Nuremberg. I mean, how do you prepare for a 360 stage? It's I don't know. So
Yeah,
lots of
just go
cardio.
out. Yeah, just go out and kick ass. That's the only
Yeah.
thing what you can do.
That's what we're telling ourselves. It's just go out there and kick some ass.
Yeah.
It's a lot more organizing. This is a big learning experience for us because we don't have management. We don't have a team.
Yeah, so you do it all by yourself.
All ourselves.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
So if you saw at the Munich show, there was no roadies. We put our gear up on stage. We played it. Then we quickly packed it up and took it off stage, and
Mhm.
it was just us. So we're learning what the big dogs do now. It's very educational.
Yeah, I mean, if you have one example where you can learn things like that, then it's them. It's the only.
Absolutely.
They
And
make
it's
so
their
much
crew. You know,
superlatives and yeah.
yeah, their crew has been a really strong example as well. They've been so welcoming to us as well. They made sure everything was looked after. I can't say enough positive things about their crew. So we're really excited to see those familiar faces now back again. And I'm sure you saw the footage from New Eisenberg and Hanover, where we had Mitch play Breaking the Law with us
Yeah,
in
yeah,
New
sure.
Eisenberg. Yeah,
Nice.
and Misha and the rest of the crew came up and did the backing vocals too. So that was kind of our thank you to the crew for being so cool to us. So
Course.
it's just special sort of brotherhood, I think we've
Yeah.
found.
Yeah, that's of course very cool, and I follow the Onkels since 1992, so
Mm,
I know a lot. I have the biographies, what they brought out, one unofficial from Gonzo and the official from Eddie Harch.
mhm.
Um, and the cool thing is, the most of the times I was also listening, and I know what was happening at back in the days. Yeah, so
Yeah.
when they made this äh, how should I event with these keine Amnestie für MTV when they brought up
The
these
tvs.
40 tonner trucks
Yeah.
and put on the shit in Munich.
Mhm.
So yeah, I was not there quite on the same day, but this
Mm.
was when I grew up with them. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
most of the things what they have done
Mm.
and still following because the music gives so much energy. Yeah, sure, there would be some songs what they could uh, in the mainstream media it's not very polite.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need to discuss this again. It's old, it's back in the days, don't care about it, and I
Yep.
was affected of this. And coming back to the Elm Street again, which reactions from the German crowds surprised you the most on this tour with Debbie?
I think just in general, the overall positive response really did surprise us because even Stefan warned us before the first show. He said, "Look, the crowd can be very tough. Like they just want to see Onkels, they just want to see Stefan, and anyone else, fuck off." so
Yeah, it's
so
more.
we thought, oh no.
Yeah, you're right.
but we just thought we just do our thing, and if they enjoy it, cool. If they don't, well, we tried, you know. So yeah, I think there's not one city that surprised us the most. It felt like it was something that built up as the tour progressed, word of mouth and people talking, between shows were, we could see there was some buzz saying, "Oh, Elm Street, Gail Vorband." We thought, "Oh, that's cool. Like that's some nice feedback." So by the time we got to Munich, there was already an energy around us, and then when we got to New Eisenberg,
Mhm.
that was really special. Like that was a big hometown crowd, and the reaction was excellent. And then the final show in Hanover, I the only word I can think of is magic. Like the crowd was incredible. I have to say also that the BOSC were very supportive of
Mhm.
us. Like they were at every show. We were talking to them before the show, after the show. We got really connected with them. And I was also really impressed with the work that the BOSC do, the support work as well. So I said to them, and I said to the band, look, we need to become members and support this, because I don't know of any other band that has a support group like this that does such positive things
Mhm.
to the community. So we all joined up, and I've got my card. I'm a
Nice.
member, Ivka. So
Right.
yeah, I think that was a big surprise for us. That the band has it has such a positive influence on society. Like they get painted as these bad boys, and oh, look out, they're a dangerous band and they have a dark history and all of this stuff. But no, that's not true. It's the complete opposite.
It
So
is. Yeah.
yeah. So for Elm Street, I think being so welcomed was the biggest surprise, just in general. Yeah.
Yeah. So, why do you think your music connects so good and well with the European audiences? What is the reason behind?
We're the best fucking band in the world. No, no. I think we are a multicultural band. Obviously, we're from Australia, but Tomislav, our drummer, and myself, our parents are Croatian immigrants,
Ah,
and Aaron's parents are from India, and Ben, our singer, his parents are from El Salvador. So it's a multicultural, international sort of a mix. I think listening to music with European ears, or at least for me, I think that will always bring an influence into the music that we create. Um, and then, the bands that we grew up listening to were mostly European as well. So, myself, Onkels, everyone, Metallica, everyone just listens to Metallica.
typical.
Um, but bands like Halloween, Hammerfall, Blind Guardian, Judas Priest, of course, and Iron
All-time
Maiden.
classics, sure.
All the classics, except they're
The old,
all.
the old Accept with Udo Dirkschneider.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Well, we did a tour with Udo in the USA in 2018, I think.
Oh, awesome.
That was a good education too. So I think these European influences have definitely they're the blood of our music. So you come and play in Europe and you get a positive response. I think because maybe there's a familiar kind of a sound in there somewhere. So I think that's what helps.
Okay. So, speaking of songs in front of a huge crowd, like you will have in Nuremberg in the football stadium, how do you prepare your set list up for a kind of concert like this?
Well, we actually, it's a bit of a challenge because we're being given less stage time for this one, so we have to really just play the hard hitting stuff. So I
Mm.
think there's a little bit of consideration to what worked on the Derby shows, because it kind of makes sense. You know, it's a similar crowd, just bigger. So if what we did worked there, then hopefully, you know, that will help for the stadium. But we also want to make sure that we have more of the anthemic songs in the set
Mhm.
list. So, you know, more hey, hey kind of a thing, because
Yeah, that you can interact with the audience, of course. No pro
that's
I understand
yeah,
totally,
that's
yeah.
what we want to do. You know, we really want to make it a shared experience. You know, and I think what better way to warm up a crowd for the Encores than to have them already, you know, shouting and
Yeah.
headbanging. So, I think we'll do the more anthemic kind of songs for this one.
So, how was the reaction of your band colleagues when you announced that Stefan and you are in contact regarding this Nuremberg show?
Well, it's we all found out at the same time. So
Ah.
we had a feeling that something may be
It's
happening.
going on.
Yeah, but, you know, we didn't, before we did the Derby tour, we had absolutely no idea that we would even be possible consideration for the Uncle's show.
Mhm.
But I think, yeah, people, I think halfway through the tour, were in the crew were kind of like, hey, like what? Like, what do you know that I don't know? Tell me
Yeah.
something. But no one's saying anything.
I know you have a secret. Tell me.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. But in New Eisenberg, backstage, you know, we're getting prepared to go on stage, and one of the promoters um, came into the dressing room, and he said, "Hey, you know, congratulations on, you know, the response that you're getting on the tour. Everyone's been saying really positive things. You know, we're really happy to have you here. What do you think about playing in Nuremberg in a stadium with Bosa Onkels?" And as those words were exiting his mouth, my brain is going, "What are you
Like,
saying? What?"
yeah.
So all of us were shocked, you know, because we were all in the room at the same time, and my wife too was there as well, and
Wow.
we're all like, "What?" And then he said, "Have a think. You know, you don't have to answer right now. Like, just think about it. If you can do it, and let me know." And we're saying, what the fuck is there to think about? Just yes, we're doing this.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we accepted, and then we went like immediately on stage and played, you know, the show that night. But you know, the vibe was so positive and happy, and I think we gave a really good performance that night. And then, you know, we had the crew come up and do Breaking the Law with us
Mhm.
as well. So that's how we found out, you know. And but then afterwards, the promoter did say, you know, the uncles, like all four of the uncles, have to agree to us playing. And before the show, he said two of the four have immediately said yes, and then they just need to hear from the other two. And then after the show, he said, "Yep, he's heard from the other two," and they're like,
Nice.
"Come straight, cool." So knowing
What
that, you know, the guys want us on is also a big honor for us.
Yeah. So how can we as fans, which are not part in the backstage or something like this, can imagine when a tour starts or when you moving together to a concert where you support in this case,
Mhm.
is there a meeting before and you meet all the guys before and speak about how how the day is planned, or how can we imagine that?
It's very relaxed. It's not a big sort of official sort of a thing. So when, and I have to say that with with Derby, uncles, it's same crew. They were the most relaxed crew that we have worked with. They were so easygoing. Just, yep, you need this, sure, have that. There was no, you have to do this by this time and that by that time and all of that. They were just, when you're ready, go on. We'll be there. If you need
Nice.
anything, let me know. So it was relaxed. So for the first show of the tour, which was in Cologne, the SH Fabric, we just walk in backstage. Where's the stage? Okay, put your gear up there. We do that, set up, for the show. Meet the people that will be doing the sound and everything. And then, Stefan's walking around. I'm like, oh, even though we talk to each other, we email each other a lot. I'm still a fan. So, we're sound checking and I see German Jesus walking around and I think, holy fuck, it's Stefan. So, we hung out with him after the sound check and, it was just all good vibes. Touring is hard work, especially
Yeah, sure.
a band in our position. So we don't have a nightliner or a tour bus or anything like that. Like we just had a van and we
Mhm.
jump in the van and drive to the show. We have hotels,
Ah,
really
okay.
cheap shit hotels, but somewhere to sleep.
Yeah, just to
Uh,
sleep. Yeah, yeah, sure.
yeah, yeah. So we're tired. We've really like put all of our energy into making the show the best that it can be. So that gets exhausting after many nights of doing that. But having the crew just so welcoming and easy and oh hey, you need a drink, sure, let me get you that drink, kind of a thing. So it's very, very good. Like I have to say, it's a very, for a touring band, this is the crew that you want to be involved with because they are the best at what they do and they don't have to prove it. That they just they do
They
their
do it.
thing.
They do
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, and I think,
exactly.
they're working now for so long time together, and they have so much experience, not only with the Onkels, also with Der Weh. Der
Yeah,
Weh, I started in with the official album release, I think in 2009, came Schneller, Höher, Weiter out of the
yep.
market. So, and I remember Stefan played one first show in Frankfurt. I think it was in the Festhalle,
Mhm.
and I could record the stream back in the days in the radio. It was streamed in the radio. It was a live stream,
Ah,
and
cool.
I still have it on one of my hard drive disks
Mm.
everywhere in my deep archive. So yeah, and he was a little bit afraid if his music hits the same like like the Onkels did, and
Mhm.
in the first album, you could hear a lot of Onkels sound, I would call it.
Yeah,
But this sound is very different, and it's a little bit darker than the Onkels sound, of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
But I'm still waiting now for the next coming album. Unfortunately, they could not release it before they start the tour
No.
with you guys, and it's really a pity. But yeah, I'm
What
sure
a
I'm
oh,
sure
yeah.
Dirk and Stefan made some magic that this album will again be a banger.
I think so. And what I really enjoy about Der V as a band is the growth. So the first album, it was diverse. There was different styles
Mhm.
in there at the time, but it was definitely Stefan trying to find his sound. And
Yep.
then the second album, Autonomy. Um, Again, it was more mixed. There was a bit more. I think it sounded more organic. Like there was more, rocking stuff, and then there was the electronic stuff and all of
Mhm.
that, like different
Yep.
styles, and the acoustic too. Um, but I really, for me personally, I think that's one of my favorite albums. But I know that for the fans, that's one of their least favorite albums. But I just like the mix of sounds in that. But then, yeah, he really like Der V became a band from the third
Sure.
album onwards.
Yeah.
They really got their sound, and yeah, it's become what it is today. But a little, I guess, Easter egg for you. I don't know if you've noticed, but on Mordballaden, I'm credited with doing backing vocals on that song.
Oh, no, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah. So not many people do, but if you look at the notes in the album, yeah, it's got Nick Ivka backing vocals, Maud Balladen with JC.
yeah. It was for me a little bit impressive. I think the V3 was the first when he brought out some additional comments on the single songs. I don't know
Mm,
if this was on Autonomie and on the first thing,
mm,
on the Schneller, Höher, Weiter, I don't think it was existing. And the V3, he commented out how the songs were created and so on. And this
mm.
is quite something what I, as a podcaster, prefer to
Yeah,
see what is going on in the back. Also, I think
yeah.
it's not easy to create a song out of the box. That's not happening, and I think this is also not Stefan's uh, way of driving and
Mm,
to create music. He's focusing, in my opinion, and it's just my personal opinion. Stefan, don't blame me if I'm wrong. Um, he's very focused and on the quality what he delivers, not
yeah.
the quantity. How many songs?
Mm,
Mostly, our average Uncle's album has mostly so between 12 and 13 tracks or something like this, and this was totally okay because
mm.
other bands produce so much songs. Yeah, I mean you can hear more a lot, okay, that but the quality is for me also very important when I do podcasts. So I want to
Yeah,
do the best podcast quality what I can, and today I think it should work quite well.
yeah. Absolutely. And I think I agree with you. It's really cool that Stefan does put out, some comments on, the albums or the songs that he's created, starting from the third album. And I think, yeah, on the iTunes release, he had audio commentary on each
Mhm.
song. Yeah, so I had to get the translator and understand what he was saying because I can't really. I'm learning. I'm trying to learn to speak German, but I'm an
That's
Aussie.
even, even
But yeah, so but I think he's an interesting person. He's very a deep thinker, and that comes out in the lyrics definitely, and especially in the Derby music and songs. So I think it's very cool that he can let you into his world a little bit more, not just from the lyrics, but from his thoughts on the songs too, because I think that's
yeah,
important.
very, very impressive also, yeah. I
Yeah.
agree totally with you. So you spent a lot of time in Germany. So did your impression of Germany change after spending so much time here? Were you before here also very often?
Yeah, I love Germany. I think I've been to Germany maybe 10 times over the years. And, I love everything about it. Like, I love the people. I find that you guys have a similar sense of humor to at least me, a bit dry. um, good beer, of course. I love the scenery, just the old towns. I'm a tourist, of course I'm going to love that. But the music too, I really enjoy the music. Like, Germany has some really cool bands and just different styles too. It's not just like the Deutsch rock type
Yeah. Oh,
thing. Like, it's
yeah.
that can be very samey, but just diverse. Like, I love the Onkels, of course, but then also enjoy the Boss Hoss, the
Mm.
country rap
Country
kind of
is
thing.
also nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and Deichkind as well. I think they're very cool. Like, just different types of music. Moses Pelham as well,
Also,
very
Pelham,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yep, yep. So you guys have some cool things going on, and then of course the football too. I mean, you're not as good as Croatia, but you've got to start somewhere.
So, do you have a favorite football team in Germany? What you like to watch?
Look, as a Aussie, of course, I enjoy watching Bayern München. They're the big
Ooh.
corporation, but then I would say normally Hertha BSC, just because I've been in Berlin so often. But they're not in the Bundesliga anymore, so who gives a fuck? Who cares? um, Borussia Dortmund as well. Like, I enjoy watching them too. So I like. I can't give you any like deep, sort of not typical impressions. It's
Okay.
more, you know, what the mainstream sort of sees. But yeah.
Okay. No, that's totally okay. If I say boo, it's just as an you know how I mean that.
Oh,
And
of course.
yeah, Australian metal scene is my next topic.
Mhm.
Let's talk a little bit about Australia, especially Melbourne. A lot of people say it has a really strong and rock and metal scene. Is this really true, or
Yeah.
how would you describe it?
Definitely. I think especially Melbourne, like out of all the cities in Australia, is the most productive, you know, for music. There's so many places to play, and there's so many bands playing music everywhere. So you know, if you want to go out one night and see a band, you've got a lot of choice. So
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
nice.
also because we're so far away from the rest of the world, you know, not many big bands come. They do come, but not often.
Yeah,
So
very.
yeah, so we have to create our own scene, really, and definitely hard rock. I mean, Australia's proven itself over the years. You know that when it comes to hard rock, we have, you know, really good bands like AC/DC, you know, being the biggest one. Rose Tattoo, of course.
Oh, Rose. Yes.
Yep, yep. The Angels are another band from that era that, you know, were big as well. That are very good. Uh, yeah, and then you look forward more, and then, you know, you have the bands like Wolf Mother and Airborne as well. You know,
Oh,
Airborne
yeah,
are
one
really,
especially. Yeah, yeah, sure.
yeah, fantastic live band. So, you know, when I started playing in bands, they were getting started too. So I feel really like proud that, you know, these guys could break out and do what they're doing now. In terms of heavy metal, again, we have some really good bands and a very healthy scene too. I think it's like with Europe, or even I guess anywhere in the world, it's a lifestyle. You know, you don't just put it on the radio or, you know, the stereo, listen in the background, and then move on with your day. Like, people live it. You know, they wear the shirts, they wear the vests, they have the posters. You know, they listening to it all the time. They're watching it. You know, so that also comes out, you know, in the live music scene too. There's we have a very strong thrash metal scene. We have a strong traditional heavy metal scene, which we feel more a part of. You know, there's industrial bands. Everyone's doing something, you know, a bit different, and there's some that do the same too. But I think there's a lot. Um,
But I
yeah.
think it's quite good that everybody is doing a quite different style of music, even if it's heavy metal or
Yes.
industrial, whatever. Because if they would not do some different, you would be all sound the same. This would be
Exactly.
very boring, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
this brings a good question up in my mind. On your metal scene in Melbourne, on which band we should have an eye in the coming future, except Elm Street. Elm Street we know now, okay, because the ass kickers are around. But is there a young talented band which you see as a musician, which we should focus on for the future?
Yeah, so the God, there's many. I think so. We're actually playing a show tomorrow night, and it's called Monsters of Riff, and it's
Mhm.
celebrating Riff, you know, the Riff. But it's we did it last year, and we had, you know, some. It was a bit more of a diverse selection
Okay.
of bands, because if you just play with heavy metal bands, you're just playing to heavy metal fans, you know. But if we
Yeah, sure.
diversify, so that was good. But this year, it's more heavier. So the bands that we are playing with tomorrow, there's a band called Witch Grinder, and
Mhm.
they industrial influenced, and they actually are very interested, and I think would do very well in Germany. So definitely worth checking out Witch Grinder.
Mhm.
Another band called Aardvark, a funny sort of name, but
Hardcore.
but they're more like the classic traditional heavy metal sound as well. So they're definitely worth checking out, and they do play in Europe when they can too. So they might come around in the next couple of years. And then the opening band is called Ion Sky, and they're more like Five Finger Death Punch sort of
Ah, nice.
sound. So it's a nice mix tomorrow night. So those three bands are definitely worth checking out. But there's so many more. Like it's where do you start? Where do you stop?
Yeah,
um, yeah.
the
So
range is very big, of course.
yeah, but they're definitely worth checking out. And another band called King's Vengeance are very good too. They're more riffy, like
Mm,
the classic rock kind of a sound as well. And
nice.
they're a really cool three-piece worth checking out.
Yeah, quite honestly, I grew up in the 80s and 90s, of course,
Mm.
with the music, with the metal music, and I started also regular with Metallica, AC/DC, and Judas Priest, and so on. But
Yeah.
this, in the meantime, it changed a little bit. So AC/DC is sometimes if it's sounds in the radio or they play songs in the radio. Yes, sure.
Mm.
I don't listen too much to radios for myself. I just
Hmm.
listening to stream music what I would like to have, and yeah. This changes a little bit, and when I saw Sepultura live for the first time in 1996, yeah, this changed my mind completely to more in a harder direction. And yeah, the Onkels gave the
Hmm.
rest. Onkels was the first German band who speaks in my mother language or brought out songs in my mother language. And yeah, I'm still a fan today. I'm
Mm.
next year I will be 50, so I'm still
Wow.
there. So
Yeah.
I look
Awesome.
a
That's
little bit
cool.
I look younger than I am. That's a quite
Yeah.
good thing.
That's good.
Yeah. And yeah, it's changed a little bit over the years. But I quite honestly like also some acoustic sets. For example, from Stefan, der
Hmm.
V-Tour acoustic. It was really amazing. And also country, what you said earlier. Country is also, we drive a Mustang and we are very often on US car meetings here in Germany,
Hmm.
in all over of Germany. And there you have also this country rock or country
Yeah.
in general. So yeah, it's okay. It comes up with the mute, I would say a little bit.
Yep, yep, definitely. Completely agree. So that's interesting what you said about, we don't really listen to the radio anymore. It's more streaming. So how do you discover new music?
Um, Normally or mostly, I discover new bands over the internet at the moment,
Hmm.
except when I go to concerts. For example, when we were at the last Onkel show last year in Vienna in December, they had
Hmm.
a support act calling Smash Into Pieces,
Hmm.
and we saw them live 3 weeks ago in Berlin. We drove to Berlin and see, Smash Into Pieces because we kinda
Cool.
liked it as a support act. The same, with you guys, Elm Street on,
Yep.
supporting their V. And
Mhm.
yeah, I'm as a podcaster and broadcaster, hopefully in the future, I spoiled it a little bit to you in the Instagram chat.
Mhm.
I always looking for new music, and I'm open always for different things, except, I don't want to listen too much to things which are always on repeat in radios. I hate that. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, you have a few good songs which you can hear without any problem, but
Yeah.
I am a friend of raw music creation, and mostly the mainstream does not. th- This is not happening at the mainstream. They're
Mm.
mixing it together, or they make some covers from old songs. I mean, you can cover a song, that's not the
Mm.
problem, but why they starting not to make their own music like you
Yeah,
do,
that's right.
like,
Yeah.
Stefan and David does, and, some few more examples. And, yeah, a good cover is really a nice thing, like you, did with, Breaking the Law, yeah? I was, liking it quite
Yeah.
good. But in the normal mainstream, this is a hard music business, what we all know,
Yeah.
and they copy each other. That's in my opinion, and I don't want to be hearing any copy of a song which is very
It's
old.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you need some a little bit some talent to make a good cover in your own version out of it, no
Yeah.
question about it. I
Yeah.
don't doubt that, and you can also rearrange a old song into a good new song, no
Hmm.
question about it. And they showed it with the acoustic set.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
rearranged. old Devi songs, which were hard and heavy, in a
Mhm.
nice, quiet acoustic set. That's really impressive.
It was a
And
cool vibe. That I went to the Berlin acoustic show,
mm,
and yeah, it's just a different experience. But it was funny still hearing, from some people in the crowd, Mexico. Like,
yeah.
wrong crowd, man.
Um, so, what I would appreciate on my next Devi show is that they will play Kampf den Kopien from Devi 3.
Ah,
This would be
yes,
awesome
yes.
live song.
That's a
This would
cool
be
song. Yeah,
sure. And
yeah,
but I know how controversial the song is, of course, in the history of making. But
yeah,
I don't want to speak about it. It's not the topic from today. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah. What does success mean to you today?
I think just being able to do what you want to do. Um, without restrictions. So we still aren't there yet. That's kind of what we're the goal is, you know. So we all work jobs, we're not full-time musicians, and we have no unrealistic expectations of making $1 million from music. That those days are long gone. But if we can play in Europe, especially in Germany, and not lose money, and I can still pay for this beautiful house that I live in, that's success to me. And to be creative on our own terms, not have someone tell us what we should be doing. To me, that's success. I think I've learnt over the years that nothing is impossible. We're playing with fucking Bursa Encores in a football stadium next month on a 360-degree stage. Would I have ever thought that would be possible as a guy, living in Melbourne? No,
Probably not.
no
No.
way. But we're
Very,
doing it.
very
So
quickly.
yeah, so to me, that's also success too. To have the opportunity to play these incredible shows. We're not satisfied yet. Like we're always pushing for more, for the next thing. So a dream would be, we do this incredible show, and then does that open the door to a tour, an actual tour with the Encores? Like that would be fantastic. If not, that's okay too. But we dream of playing Wacken, or Hellfest, or like I think
Yeah,
Wacken's
all
the
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 big
the
ones.
goal. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Wacken should be the main goal, sure.
yeah, absolutely. So we have dreams and aspirations. I think getting that big record deal and selling millions of records. I don't know if that happens to bands like us anymore. But if we can just play live and not lose money, that would be
Yeah, sure.
nice. That's success. Yeah.
Okay. So, speaking about the German audience in regards of Elm Street now again, what can fans who discovered, like I did, who discovered Elm Street now when you're supporting the DW, what can we expect from you in the future? Are you working on new music as well at the moment? I mean, if you have a busy travel schedule, don't think that you have so much focus on writing new songs.
Yeah.
Or what is going on? Tell us, please.
We have a lot of riffs and song ideas. So we are working hard on turning them into songs. But I think right now the focus is on the live shows. Our last album, The Great Tribulation, came out, I think it was 2 years ago, I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
in 23, yeah, correct.
yeah. So we've been pretty busy playing shows to support that. And, we've played in South America. We've, obviously come to Germany to do some shows. So there's still some places we still want to play. And we do
Mhm.
want to come back and do, a proper headline show in Germany as well.
Nice. Yeah.
So I think there's still some life in that album. Uh, but yeah, we're writing, we're writing a lot. So, and it's sounding pretty
Nice.
cool. Yeah, yeah. There's
Okay,
there's
that's
progression. It's I think if you have gotten familiar now with the three albums that we have, there's been growth from album to album, and this is maybe our And Justice for All. don't know. But we'll have Justice for All with bass. So,
Yeah, correct. So,
yeah.
it's a funny side fact, and Justice for All is one of my all-time favorites, on
Cool. Okay. Well, then
Metallica.
this will be your more all-time favorite.
Yeah, okay, there's always an relative of everything, yeah,
Yeah,
mostly.
yeah. Yeah, that's it. But
Yeah.
yeah, so there will be new music, but yeah, lots of touring too.
Yeah. Okay. So when does the German tour schedule starts for you then for the Nuremberg show?
We will. So we have our show tomorrow in Melbourne, and that's our
Mhm.
last show before Nuremberg. So as soon as that show is finished, the all energy goes to Nuremberg.
Nuremberg, yeah.
So yeah, we'll be rehearsing pretty hard. We're trying to organize a warm-up show
Mhm.
in Nuremberg before
Nice.
the stadium show.
Cool.
So we we've got other people organizing that, so I can't really tell you any details because I don't
No, no,
have any details.
fine.
But once we do know, we'll let everyone know. But we would plan on that's a headline show. We would rehearse, like maybe 90 minutes worth of music, and if
Nice.
we play and there's more Zugabe, well, then we have songs to play. So yeah, I think that'll be really fun. And then obviously, of course, the energy is going into the stadium show too. We will only be in Berlin, not in Berlin, in Germany for a week,
Mm, okay.
because that's all we can afford. We don't. We have to pay for a lot of the things ourselves. Being
Mhm.
an independent band, so yeah, just doing the tour with Stefan was a lot for just to fly.
Sure.
Because flying from Australia
It's
to
very
Germany is
expensive.
not
No, no,
cheap. So
no question about it.
yeah, once we're there, everything kind of looks after itself. But always our biggest expense is flying. So yeah, we could only really afford to fly for a short window this time. But
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll come back, save up as much money as we can, work hard, and come back as soon as we can.
Yeah, nice. So if you're next time here, close to Ingolstadt, then let me know. Then
Absolutely.
I will spend you a beer. No
Yeah.
problem.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Or
we'll need it.
free or 5 or something like this. No, no,
Yeah,
just kidding around. But my offer is valid, of course.
of
And
course.
yeah, normally we are through our interview. Thank
Mhm.
you so much that you attended on my small show. And
Thank you.
question from, or no, first a comment. What I was see as really impressive that you came after you finished your show at Der W, that you came out back again and speak to the people, which is not always familiar to different reasons. I don't
Mm.
know them all, but this what I saw, and I found this very awesome. And that's the reason why I wrote you this message initially on Instagram. And I didn't expect, honestly, that I will get a reply very soon. But you replied so fast as nobody did. Yeah.
I'm
Um,
always on my phone. But I think, you know, with that, we don't see ourselves as rock stars or above
mhm.
people or anything like that. Like we are the same as the people in the crowd. Like you're fans, we're fans.
We
We're
all
just
met in the end. Yeah, sure.
yeah, we understand that we're in a special position where we're the ones on the stage playing the
Mm,
music, but we're playing music that we really enjoy. Like we're fans of heavy metal. It's a celebration of
yeah,
metal.
I would agree.
Yeah, and then doing the Onkels cover as well was a celebration of the Onkels because we love the Onkels as well. And then Judas Priest because we think, well, you think heavy metal, well, Judas Priest is definitely, the champions of heavy metal. So it was just a
Yeah, there's
big,
only one God, Rob Halford.
yes, absolutely, the metal god. So,
Yeah,
we consider our live performances like our love letter to heavy metal. So,
nice.
after the show, just seeing such positivity from the crowd, like for me, I feel like I want to give that back, just say
Mhm.
thank you, or, shake a hand, or any sort of connection, because I find that um, the German crowds, and particularly, the Onkels Derby audience, were very special.
They are special. Yeah.
It's a different feel, and like I was giving every night on the tour before we did the Onkel song. Like I gave a speech, to the crowd, and I
Mhm.
tried to use some German as respect, for the place where we are, but then also just I would say, La Familia is the best familia, and I meant that. Like I wasn't just saying that to get people to go yay. It was, I mean it. Like I'm for real about this. I'm a
Yeah.
card carrying member now, so yeah. Just I think more bands should do that. They should come out and meet the audience, because if there was no audience, or if there was no support,
You would not have the band.
exactly. So I think it's important to make sure that the crowd feels valued, because they definitely are.
I think it's, or I would agree this time, even
Mm,
if I'm not a musician. So,
yeah.
last question: how was this your first podcast, and how do you like it?
What was my first podcast?
Wow,
Or
nice.
oh, no, no, my
Was
first,
not
like,
your
as
first.
in my first, shit, I can't remember. I don't know. That's a good question. You've stumped me. Oh, yeah, it was a wrestling podcast. They did, like, I think it was called Rock You Like a Hurricanrana.
Mhm.
So it was music and wrestling, and they're my two passions. So
Okay.
yeah, that was fun, talking about wrestling and heavy metal. But I think nothing beats talking about uncles to a German. So this has been fucking great.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So this was then your first podcast with a German host.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
nice.
true. Yes, yes.
Oh, really? Then
Definitely.
it's
Yeah.
an honor for me as well.
Yeah. No, it's good. This has been great. I've loved it.
No, I enjoyed it as well. I think we had a good chemistry, and I think, or I hope the questions were also quite nice for you as
Yeah.
well. No uncomfortable topics, I think. And the really last question is for you: who
Mhm.
should I interview next?
Mm. Is this like
Which artist or
open?
band?
That's a, ooh, that's so open. Like, if it could be anyone, I would absolutely say Stefan would be a great interview.
This
Um,
would be my dream, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. Well, maybe I can talk to him. We'll see. I can't guarantee anything, but
Probably,
I think he's a very interesting person. So I'm
yeah,
sure
he
he
is
would make a
definitely.
very good podcast. Yeah, but you know what? Like, everyone thinks Stefan, but I would say P would be a pretty cool interview.
He also, yeah, he's quite
Yeah,
nice, and
yeah,
he's a silent guy. So, but
yeah,
I
yeah.
think he's very
I think the
smart.
quiet ones have the most to say.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
back in the days when you saw some interviews, P was always the silent one,
Yep. Yep.
and
So I
Stefan
think you
again.
get an interesting
Yeah,
perspective from him.
correct.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so then, Nick, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate that
Thank
you
you.
joined my little show here. And
Of course.
yeah, to all the audiences, thanks for listening up. It was a live stream, and it will be very soon published on Spotify as well. You can find us on YouTube, Rockfeed Livecast, and on Instagram. And yeah, hope you will have a good weekend. And again, so much thank you to Nick to make this happen today.
Yeah. Thank you very much as well. I appreciate you having me on your show, and I wish you all the best success with this too. And just
Thanks.
I want to use this as an opportunity too to say thank you to everybody who's been so supportive of us as well. I'm not just saying it, that this means everything to us, because it does. And I genuinely believe that without the support of the audience that we had, we would never have been given this opportunity to play with the Encores. Like I feel like it was people power put us in Nuremberg. So we're looking forward to celebrating that with you again and thanking everybody face to face.
Nuremberg will be very different. You will see. You will.
Yeah.
Your ass will shaking. I bet one beer with you.
It already is.
Okay, then enjoy your weekend, and thank you so much again. And yeah, have a good time. Stay healthy, and say hi to the band colleagues from me as well.
Will do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Nick from Elm Street, the bassist.
Cheers.
Stay cool. Bye bye.